Part 2. Verdant Wind. Great Tree Moon. Blood of the Eagle and Lion. Now in control of the Great Bridge of Verdant, the Alliance Army invades the Imperial territories. In response, the Imperial Army garrisons soldiers at Fort Merceus.
All of that went about as well as it could have. Each lord has agreed to provide us with soldiers and supplies.
I'm impressed you were able to convince all of those scattered nobles to help us. I thought they would quarrel about how much support they should each provide. That's what they usually do.
Well, Count Gloucester took the initiative in taking on responsibilities. I presume that was because you spoke with him in advance, Lawrence.
I merely explained the situation at hand. Then my father simply followed your lead, Claude. It was because you had the professor there to represent Lady Rhea. My father is a pious follower of the Church of Seros.
I don't doubt it. I wasn't under the delusion that it was my personal charm that unified everyone. Thanks for that, by the way. I hope you don't feel like I used you, because I sort of used you. I appreciate that. We don't have time to be picky about our methods. But be honest, you're having a hard time adjusting to your new role, aren't you? You weren't even a follower of Seros to begin with, and somehow you've ended up as a representative of the Church. I realize that you might feel guilty about deceiving the believers for our cause. But this is just what the Archbishop wanted. She's the highest authority in the Church. Besides, as wielder of the Sword of the Creator, it's undeniable that you're special. I think you should be more confident in yourself and use your position to the fullest.
I have news. Our enemy is gathering troops at Fort Merceus. Their army is immense, likely led by a renowned general, or perhaps even...
Well now, that would be interesting. If we can defeat the Emperor, then the Empire will collapse.
There's something else. An unidentified army has approached the Great Bridge of Verdant. They passed through the Daphne and Gloucester territories from the northwest with incredible speed. They're raising the banner of House Blathid. Perhaps they are the remnants of the Fargus royal family. From what we could tell, they posed no threat to the citizens of the Alliance, and so we refrained from engaging them in needless combat.
Maybe they hope to fight against the Empire to avenge their fallen prince. And what about the bridge itself?
Obviously, we wouldn't let them pass without receiving envoys first. We thought they may try to force their way through. We considered firing warning arrows, but they left immediately, heading east.
Are they intending to use one of the bridges in Ordelia territory?
Most likely. But the Imperial Army still controls those bridges. I can't imagine what they intend to do in the Empire, even if they do manage to break through.
I'm reluctant to ease up on our surveillance, but it would be difficult to track them there. For now, let's assume they're just troops belonging to the Old Kingdom. In any case, we should proceed with caution. Soon we'll be entering Empire territory ourselves. If our enemies are going to intercept us with an attack, it will probably be at Gronder Field. How fitting that it was the site of the Battle of the Eagle and Lion 5 years ago. My next steps are clear.
Right. Well... Claude was saying that our next battle might be in Gronder Field. Is that right? Reminds me of the Battle of the Eagle and Lion. But of course, that was a very different time. When it was over, all 3 class heads complimented each other on their bravery. And then we had a party. But we can never go back to that, can we? Excuse me, could you do me a favor? Claude was saying, reminds me of when it, and then we had...
Lady Rhea. Hello there.
Return soon, please.
Hey, welcome. You have a good eye. A pleasure doing. Come again.
Really now? There, I hope... Hey, how about a favor?
Lady Rhea. Hello there.
Claude was saying, reminds me of the, when it was, and then we had...
Lady Rhea.
Hey!
A moment, please.
Reconnaissance is becoming more of a risk the deeper we move into enemy territory. If I don't come back, assume I'm dead. Good. We have to be realistic. Don't waste your energy worrying about me.
Okay.
Hey, well, you have a good eye. You have a good eye. A pleasure to come again.
Lady Rhea.
I've got to keep this place clean, and I mean properly clean, every day. Dust it, sweep it, everything. You never can tell when Lady Rhea might be back.
Hello there.
Thanks so much. You're a sweetheart. Professor, we might see Edelgard herself leading the enemy in the next battle. If they're coming out of Fort Merceus, our troops might even clash on Gronder Field. And those other troops on the march. Who knows what they'll do, or what side they'll take. Not sure how we're supposed to form a strategy with so many unknowns. Hey, how come you only ever flatter me in times like these? What am I supposed to make of that? Anyway, we've come this far. Let's just keep putting one foot in front of the other and see how far we get. Maybe.
I gotta say, it's tough to keep the fighting spirit alive when you recognize your enemies on the battlefield. So you can't avoid it, huh? How did everything get so messed up?
Just because we're fighting someone doesn't mean we gotta hate them.
That's probably the worst thing about war. Win or lose, I still get a bad taste in my mouth.
Professor!
Hey, I could use a hand.
Word just reached me that the Empire has stationed soldiers in Fort Merceus. If they decide to dig in their heels and defend the fort, we'll be in a difficult situation. I hear it's an impregnable keep, surrounded by high ramparts. Taking it would not be easy.
Right.
Since Little Claude became their leader, the Alliance Lords haven't been especially unified. Now they're suddenly united for a common cause. As a result, the Empire hasn't been able to perform even one successful incursion. Rather, we're the ones who might get the jump on them. It's incredible. Magical, even. Maybe his strategic genius was simmering for those 5 years, and it returned to a full boil once you two were reunited. Or maybe he always knew he'd meet you again, and he was preparing for that this whole time.
Professor.
Beyond the Great Bridge of Murden, it's all unfamiliar territory for us. We don't know where Lady Rhea's being held. We ought to investigate all potential locations thoroughly. The Knights of Seiros will handle the search. We'll report back if we learn anything.
Hey!
Hello there.
Professor, thanks to our victory, I've been able to study the Great Bridge of Murden at my leisure. And you know what? It's an astounding structure. So much history there. Imagine how much time and effort it must have taken to build something that big. Over water, no less. I hope that someday it will be opened up to the people of Fodlan, a historical site, rather than a military checkpoint.
Professor, the Battle of the Eagle and Lion. Has it truly been 5 years since then? Can you recall whether it was before or after I joined your class, Professor? I'm glad you have not forgotten. It was shortly after I joined your class. I remember it like it was yesterday. I heard that some unidentified troops have appeared, but apparently they were flying the flag of the Fargus royal family. Do you think it was Dimitri's ghost? His country was taken before he ever wore the crown. Surely he must regret that. No, Professor, I trust you and Claude, but I feel uneasy. If we lose in the next battle, the Empire's army will likely come surging into Alliance territory. If that happens, my parents won't escape unharmed. They've raised their anti-Imperial flag after all. Thank you, Professor. I'll fight with all I've got to. Speaking with you has eased my mind a bit. Just enough, in fact, to put me in the mood for sweets.
There's something else. House Gloucester has changed its allegiance and joined the faction that is against the Empire. The Alliance will thus remain united. But thanks to this latest ploy, my father is more suspicious of Claude now than ever, if such a thing is possible. Ordinarily, I might credit his helpful posture toward us to his devout faith in the Church of Seiros. But it is clear to me now that this is nothing more than a shrewd calculation on his part. He is only thinking of his position. We are in the clear for now, but please bear in mind that the Alliance is never an entirely stable union.
Each time we press forward, our search for Rhea broadens to a wider area. I certainly hope we will find at least some clue. But I do suspect I already know where she is. If I'm right, then she is in the Imperial capital. And we cannot save her until we topple the Empire.
I'm getting the hang of this.
Hey there. We secured the win in our first skirmish, but the next battle's a different matter. The Empire will come after us with everything it's got. Even so, the ultimate victory will be ours. And I'm not just saying that. I've made ample preparations to ensure our victory. It's my rule to never leave victory to chance. You can't rely on the protection of the goddess. With your power and my schemes, I should be able to plot a direct course to victory.
Professor.
What?
Ugh.
Thanks. I'm glad I asked you.
Excuse me, but I gotta go grab me some seconds.
Seconds? We only just started eating. How did you magic away your firsts?
That smell, it's amazing. My fave, in fact. Do you like it too?
This is so good. Can I have seconds?
That looks delicious. Goddess forgive me, I've just got to indulge.
The flavor is nostalgic to me for some reason. I'd like some more.
Eating delicious food really takes my worries away. I like this dish. It was my father's favorite. Always happy to join the professor for a meal. Oh, and I'm glad you're here too, Lawrence.
The pleasure is entirely mine, Hilda.